Hi. So I just got done watching Abba and Preach's video on Sneako talking about how he used to watch his girlfriend sleep with another guy while he himself was in the same bed with the guy sleeping with his girlfriend. And I was like, listen man, the Redpill Manosphere has bad PR, public relations, right? Now, I'll say this, we're all humans, we all have flaws to some degree, some worse than others, some less than others, right? You know, it varies. But I'm sad to say that, you know, some of the guys in the, in the manosphere, their personality flaws, they sort of like spill over, like overflowing in a cup, like they overflow to the degree where it's like, yo, we cannot look up to you because you keep having scandals after scandals after scandals. You're on video cursing other people out, beefing in the manosphere, and this is more predominantly in the manosphere, in the black side, in the black manosphere, right? But listen, some of the character flaws of our Redpill Manosphere content creators, they just keep giving Abba and Preach meat. Because I don't know how many times now Abba and Preach has gone after some of the guys in the Manosphere. Oh, look, Fresh and Fit is thingy. Say, oh, we are better than you guys, yelling. And now it's Sneako, and they keep using this sentence. Oh, look, some of the guys, look at these red pill guys, these red pill guys, that term, that terminology, these red pill guys. Dear Manosphere, that makes us look bad. If we're gonna, extend our messages further out into the matrix, to the blue-pilled, average normie NPC, knuckle-dragging, mouth breather, clock puncher and the pencil pushers in the corporate environments that wants someone to speak on their behalf, that wants someone to represent their ideologies, their thoughts, their grievances. And that's what the Manosphere stood for. The Manosphere initially, it started as a space for men only, to come together and, express our grievances, our downfalls, our concerns. And as the years went by, the Manosphere sort of like evolved to different endeavors and categories. We got guys in the political sphere: Anthony Brian Logan, Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Greg Foreman, who else? Brandon Tatum, right? We have guys in the let's say, okay, pickup artistry, which has become obsolete, right? But I'm not to deviate off point. Let's come back to Abba and Preach. Abba and Preach keep attacking. They keep attacking, us red pill guys. Now, I watch Abba and Preach purely for entertainment value because I like Preach with his antics, with him laughing at the top of his lungs, and Abba, with his new catchphrase, "This is a sickness," right? That's funny, by the way. That's funny. But I'm also willing to acknowledge that Abba and Preach are blue-pilled. Okay? They're blue-pilled. Anyone who uses the words partnership to describe a monogamous relationship, that's blue-pilled. Anyone who promotes a woman's rights to abortion, you're blue-pilled. Okay? So yes, there's certain things that I disagree with when it comes to Abba and Preach. And quite frankly, it really irks me whenever they get more material to slander the Redpill Manosphere because of the guys beefing. I mean, Sneako himself, I've the little I've known Sneako, I've realized that the guy's childish. Yeah, he's a young lad himself, somewhere in his early 20s, 22, 23, 25 at best, right? He's a young guy. And he's very childish. And I've seen more I've seen more displays of him acting like a female, using personal attacks during a debate. This one time when he was hosted over at Fresh and Fit, he and DJ Academics was insulting a lady, right? Calling all sorts of names, saying that, oh, she has a deep voice. What does that have to do with the topic? And now he was debating, what's this guy's name? MoistCritikal. MoistCritikal. It's spelled differently. And he was showing a picture of Sneako was showing a picture of this guy, MoistCritikal, a picture of him and his girlfriend. And I'm like, what does that have to do with the topic? Kevin Samuels said it best. Shame, insult, guilt, they need to be right. And I've met more guys who are younger than I am. I am turning 29 years of age on Christmas, right? So a lot of the guys who are 25 and below, they exude the same female antics, female energy, right? Here's the thing. Here's what's happening in the manosphere. You have some of us in the manosphere who, on some intellectual, we got some intellectual prowess, right? And then you have guys that, in this day and age, since it's now the new thing to become a Redpill Manosphere content creator. Everyone now is flocking towards the manosphere. They want to be content creators. Not everyone is capable of being a manosphere content creators, and not everyone should. Not everyone should. Just because you can create a YouTube account, that doesn't mean that you're capable, and that doesn't mean that you should. We have the likes of Just Pretty Things, who got destroyed by Destiny because she was stumbling over her words. And although Destiny doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, he's a blue-haired, blue-pilled NPC himself. But she lost the argument because Just Pretty Things couldn't hold frame. You see, if you're gonna debate against the Agent Smiths, you have to be intuitive. You have to be intuitive. You have to know your stuff. Shout out to Rodo Tomasi, right? So everyone can be a content creator, but not everyone should be, right? And not everyone is capable of. Guys, Kevin Samuels said it best. Your image matters. And unfortunately, some of the guys here in the manosphere, in the manosphere, they have poor image. We have the likes of, and I'm not to slander these people because I watch them, I love them on a personal level, but I have to, we have to give criticisms. And if I'm going to criticize a particular content creator, that doesn't mean that I hate them. It doesn't mean that I'm disrespecting them, unless I say things that are disrespectful. So I'm gonna put a disclaimer. If I'm gonna say certain things about certain content creators, right? Please don't take it personally. No disrespect, right? So we have the likes of Tommy Sotomayor, right? I agree with a lot of his talking points, but you can't have a reputation of cussing out black women who gave you a bad driving experience on the side of the road, and then cursing out, calling them all sorts of B's and S's, right? You have an OnlyFans account. You're not a good representative of the manosphere. We have the likes of O'Shea Duke Jackson creating videos, slamming Donovan Sharp and Tommy Sotomayor, and they're doing panels, insulting each other and going in and just like a bunch of females, right? And no, I'm not saying that just I'm not being insulting, right? But I'm sorry, but I'm just describing you. And if this and if me criticize this, me giving you these criticisms have now burned the bridges in terms of us doing panels together in the future. If that's how you feel, then I can't do anything about it. Criticisms, guys. You have to learn how to take criticisms. Another thing, we have, again, I did a video, a few months ago, because the Manosphere needs to organize themselves properly. I came up with 3 levels of being a Redpill Manosphere content creator. There's 3 levels. The first level is being a host, right? There's certain content creators that are only good for, and this is not a bad thing, you're good for being a host, hosting a panel and controlling and moderating things, bringing certain people together, right? Being able to bring certain content creators together and hosting them, such as Bernard Riley, Just Pretty Things was able to bring on Brittany Red and Andrew Tate. Donovan Sharp used to host The 7. O'Shea Duke Jackson used to host the Brother Pill podcast. Some content creators are very good at that. Some content level 2 is being a disseminator of information, being able to teach Red Pill philosophy. A very good example I can think of at the top of my head is Mumia Obsidian Ali and Rollo Tomasi. And Donovan Sharp, right? Some content creators are good at multiple levels of what I just mentioned. And the third level is the highest level of all. And that's being a Red Pill Manosphere ringer. These are the people that we in the Manosphere, we entrust and we elect, not officially, not actually, but we have this understanding. We elect them. We have an understanding. So like it's unwritten, right? We select them. We entrust them to go out into the matrix and debate the Agent Smiths and beat them convincingly. Rollo Tomasi just recently did that. Took down the Dr. Phil show completely. Right? Took down the, the sanctuary of the normie, weird NPCs, pencil pushers and clock punchers, knuckle dragging mouth breathers, right? Which brings me to my next thingy. There's some, people like Sneako, people like Fresh and Fit. These are the guys that they were able to conjure up a large following, but the way they behave, the way they conduct themselves, their audience, it's mostly a mature audience. So you got guys that came, out of nowhere into the Red Pill Manosphere space, and I'm not okay. Let me take Fresh and Fit. Actually, no. Let me rather put it like this. Okay, just forget what I said. There are certain guys, like Sneako, who are immature, right? Because there's this concept that, dum-dums follow dum-dums. Intellectuals follow intellectuals. Now you have dum-dums that come to the space, right? And they bring, since most people in the world are a bunch of dum-dums, idiots, they come with these dum-dums since, dum-dums can relate amongst each other. And they ride our golden pony of glory off into high heaven in the form of likes, subscribers, and visibility. Because again, idiots follow idiots. And most people in this world are a bunch of idiots. Which is why there's certain content creators whose audience that I want to have. I love Coach Greg Adams' audience. I love Rollo Tomasi's audience. I love Matt Walsh's audience. I love Anthony Bryan Logan's audience and Officer Brandon Tatum. I love Mumia Obsidian's audience, right? Because these are whenever they do live streams, I can see that I'm reading the chats. And it's mostly like positive feedback. And they're saying things that, you know, that shows that they are mentally on par. They understand what we do. And then you get certain guys that whose audience I really do not want. I do not want Angry Man's audience. You know why? Because Angry Man himself is having a tough time with his own subscribers and audience. It's usually a bunch of people just come in and just troll. They throw a bunch of hate. They never co-sign what you're saying, even though they know that you're right. But just for the sake of just pissing you off, they just come in. You know, NPCs. I do not want Steve the Dean's audience. Because he is coaching a bunch of 17-year-olds, 20, 22-year-old, immature, you know, guys who are, oh, how do I get a girl to like me? At this age, you're still, dude, you can't be stuck at amateur level forever. I started listening to Mr. Lucario and Steve the Dean, and I graduated from the audience. I no longer listen to them, because I'm no longer in that mind frame. I've evolved, I've become more mature as I've grown old. Some people suffer from arrested development. They are always forever in that amateur level of thinking. I do not want Steve the Dean's audience. Steve the Dean Williams' audience. I do not want Tommy Sotomayor's audience. I do not want Bernard Riley's audience. Recently, I do not want Anton Daniel's audience. Even though I like the content creator himself, but the audience is what I'm talking about. I do not want Anton Daniel's audience. I do not want Bernard Riley's audience. Both these people who recently come out and say, hey, listen, I'm done doing panels. And it kind of makes me wonder, with guys of that intellectual level, why are they busy entertaining low-level thinkers doing panels with these idiots? How many times have you seen Angry Man just totally blow off in anger and just go off on his listeners and his audience? Because they're stressing him out. He has the wrong type of audience. Anton Daniels just recently came out and said, hey, listen, I'm done doing audience with these with these idiots. With these knuckle draggers. And I sent him an email and say, took you this long? I was kind of hoping you'd quit sooner. Because the guys you doing panels with are not on your level, Anton. You are higher than them. Angry Man, you are higher than your audience. Bernard Riley, you are higher than your audience. Why? I mean, a content creator cannot control the type of audience that he has, but the manosphere needs management, man. Coming back to, you know, my original rant. Abba in Preach, I agree with him, with them about Sneako. Sneako is not a good representative of our space. But since, you know, immature, childish guys, they relate to, you know, immature, childish content creators. And there's a whole lot of them. And MrShowTym, the great Showstodamus, is here to call it out. There's certain guys that are just a bad representation of the manosphere. But you know who's the perfect representation of the manosphere? Kevin Samuels. Saint Kevin Samuels. He had a good image, he had a good reputation. He didn't beef. He didn't engage in these back and forth insults, shame, guilt needs to be right. He didn't engage in beef. Ergo, he had a good reputation. And more guys in the manosphere should aspire to be that. Not going in back and forth, oh, so-and-so, O'Shea is going in on Tommy Sotomayor, and Angry Man is going in on Obsidian Ali. I mean, I'm not to get into your personal issues, I'm just saying. Beef, it may get you some attention, but it's the wrong kind of attention. And it hurts your brand long term. Anyway, what else do I want to say? Guys, yeah, some of the guys, man, oh yeah, me, MrShowTym, I am the only Redpill Manosphere content creator here in South Africa. nay, the whole entire continent. Because most people in here in South Africa, they know I'm right. But they refuse to acknowledge me. You know why? Because they don't like me on a personal level. So I can say 1 + 1 is 2. They'll say, no, you're wrong, MrShowTym. Or they ninja watch my content without liking my videos, without giving me props. But so, say, for example, someone they like personally, oh, they co-sign them saying 2 + 2 is equal to 57. I'm the only red pill content creator here in South Africa. And, you know, it's not easy building an audience where I am surrounded by a bunch of NPCs. But, okay, that's all I have to say for now, man. The manosphere should really take into consideration who should be allowed to be, you know, associated deeply with the manosphere, right? And who should be identified as a weakling, a grifter. Just pretty things. But anyway, yeah, you heard it from MrShowTym first. The manosphere needs management. St. Kevin Samuel said it best. Your image, your behavior, the way you conduct yourself online, your digital footprint matters. You've been watching and listening to MrShowTym, The Great Show to Damas, and I am out of here. Thanks for watching. Cheers.